Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Dark. This is the 5th episode of the 2nd season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So last episode was really interesting. I actually really enjoyed it. To be honest, we've had a good, solid start to the 2nd season, and it was all about Jonas, and it was about him being in 1921. But interestingly, yes, he was found. He was taken in by family, and when he woke up, who was sat there at his bedside? Yes, it was Noah. Now, obviously, it was a young version of himself. Jonas didn't actually know what was actually going on. So he took him to a place, a location, the church. As he went inside, older Noah, the one that we've seen throughout the show, has come out. He's been speaking to him. He's like, look, mate, I know you've got a lot of questions, etc., etc. Follow me. So they've gone into this back room. He said it's time. He waited. He was silent for a while until Adam walked in. Now, obviously, we've had this mysterious Adam introduced to us this season. We don't really know who he is and what's going on with him, but we've always been asking those questions. What is it that he's here for? Why does he want these missing pages, and why is it so important to him? Well, a good twist again was revealed to us because, yes, we did see that Jonas was nearly killed, didn't we? Off Charlotte's little girl, basically, when she hung him for a little period before she obviously shot the rope and he fell back down. And his neck and the makeup, fair play to the makeup department, because that looked really, really bad. His neck was all burnt, it was all scarred, it was all red, it was literally really bad. And it was bandaged up and still bleeding at the end of the episode. But as, you know, Adam's come walking into the room, we see that his face is all burnt. He's been through the wars himself. Adam himself is actually Jonas. He revealed his top down. He had the scars himself. And basically, it's just another version of himself. So in this show, we have seen 3 different ones. Now, we have had 3 different versions of other people in the show, but this is the first time we've seen his 3 different sides. We've seen him, obviously, in this one. We've seen him as Adam. And we've seen the one that's with his mum back in the present with Charlotte as well, revealing information about time traveling to obviously Ulrich's wife and everybody like that. So I mean, it's really good, it's really interesting, and there's loads of stuff going on. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. Gonna be the 3rd time we've seen this at the start of the show. 3 times this season out of 5 episodes we've started with these 2. Oh, he woke up. That was interesting. It reminds me of like Venom. You know what I mean?
Ist es nicht eigenartig, dass man die größte Abneigung ausgerechnet den Menschen entgegenbringt, die einem am ähnlichsten sind? Zieh dich an.
Now we're 2 days before the apocalypse.
Wartet mal. Echt besser, wenn ihr euch hinsetzt.
Können wir das wann anders machen? Wir müssen wirklich los.
Na, dann redest du quasi nicht mit uns und jetzt willst du wissen, was wir denken? Guck dich doch mal um. Wir sind hier die Kinder, aber du benimmst dich seit Monaten wie eins. Mann, fuck, Mama, du tust so, als wärst du alleine mit der Scheiße. Weil du jetzt Bock hast zu reden, haben wir das noch lange nicht.
Sein Bett ist noch gemacht. Er war die ganze Nacht nicht da.
Vielleicht ist er bei Martha.
Die sind nicht mehr zusammen.
Die haben sich sicher versöhnt. Hast du angerufen?
Da geht niemand ran. Sag, dass alles gut wird.
Her makeup's really good as well, though. Her makeup is really good.
Die französische Delegation. Alle warten schon. Ich denke, Sie sollten jetzt besser.
Verschieben Sie.
Aber ich kann doch nicht.
Are they there at the plant right now? Imagine that.
Warum bin ich hier?
Ein Mensch lebt 3 Leben. Das erste endet mit dem Verlust der Naivität, das zweite mit dem Verlust der Unschuld und das dritte mit dem Verlust des Lebens selbst.
Ich habe keine Zeit für diese ganze Scheiße hier. Ich muss wieder zurück nach Hause, in meine Zeit. Ich habe gesehen, was passieren wird. Ich habe ihre Gräber gesehen.
Du hast noch viel Zeit. Streng genommen hast du noch 99 Jahre.
That is true, isn't it?
Die Leute können ja sagen, was sie wollen. Aber dieser Regan, das ist ein Spitzenkerl.
Ich wollte nur kurz sehen, wie es dir geht.
Warum ich eigentlich gekommen bin. Ich möchte, dass du zu uns ziehst. Du wärst nicht so alleine. Und Regina würde sich auch freuen, wenn sie mehr von dir hätte.
The date. Yeah, what's the date?
Du tust ja so, als wäre ich schon fast tot.
Denk einfach drüber nach.
You gotta say yeah, haven't you? Honestly, you have to say yeah. Like, as a parent, when you're old and you're on your own, there's nothing more than you want to feel loved from from your kids. You know what I mean? And like, the fact that he's not had a great relationship with his daughter for all these years, for whatever reason that they fell out of touch. You know what I mean? Like, it's never too late to rekindle, is it? Like what you once had, or hope to obviously leave and end on the best terms you could. And I don't know, if I lived on my own and I was him and I was dying and I had cancer and I'd been distant from my children for a long time and he'd come and he approached me and he wanted me to be more involved and around and stay with them and be with the kids and all that, I'd love it. Do you know what I mean? I'd absolutely love it. So if I was him, I would say yes. But this show's always got me thinking, are all these events that are happening now, are they what is meant to be? Does that make sense? You say it all the time. You can't change what's already happened. You can't change kind of what's going to happen as well. And like, everybody's there is the way they should be. So Jonas should always have gone back in time. You know, Helga should have always done that stuff that he done. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though people are moving and time jumping, everything is recurring the way it always was meant to be. So in that timeline, when he did die originally, was he invited to go and live with them? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what gets you guessing.
War immer da. Direkt vor mir. Ich kann einfach nicht fassen, dass du mit meinem Mann und mit meinem Sohn geschlafen hast. Hat die Ulrich eigentlich jemals gesagt, dass dich liebt?
She was persistent in telling Ulrich she loved him. Well, I don't think he ever said it to her. She said it straight away in like the first clip of the episode 1.
Hallo? Sie haben gestern Ihren Termin verpasst. Sie hat dich von allen Menschen als letztes Jahr erwartet. Wissen Sie, wer das ist?
Nein, weiß ich nicht.
Und Sie? Kennen Sie diese Person?
Nein.
Oh, is that her house? He's not gone to the Nielsen's, has he?
Weißt du alles, was passieren wird?
Ich weiß, wann Kriege beginnen und enden. Welche Entdeckungen die Wissenschaft in den nächsten Jahren macht. Aber ich weiß nicht, was mein Gegenüber tun wird. Ich habe 66 Jahre gebraucht, um herauszufinden, wie. Einen Weg dieser ganzen Hölle zu entkommen.
Alexander Tiedemann.
Ich verstehe Sie nicht ganz.
Sie haben als Physiotherapeutin für ihn gearbeitet. Das tun Sie nicht mehr, richtig? Trotzdem überweist er Ihnen monatlich den gleichen Betrag.
Was Sie nicht verstehen, ist, dass wir hier zusammenhalten. Wir unterstützen uns. Mein Sohn ist verschwunden. Alexander hilft mir mit dem Geld.
Vielleicht ist das so in einer kleinen Stadt. Man teilt nicht nur die Geheimnisse,
Get a rise, you know what I mean? He was trying to get a rise out of there, but that was a good answer. It was quick, you know what I mean? Like how she was going through. But that's the deal that she could. Obviously, she said that she wanted that officer to go down and make Ulrich's life hell. Now, the fact is that can't happen because he's obviously changed timelines. But what she's decided to do is no longer work there, but still get paid. I think that's a pretty good deal to cut as well, honestly. It really is. I would love to do that. Imagine that. Like, you could quit your job, but you get the same amount of salary that you've always had. You could just sit at home and just do whatever, just enjoy yourself. It'd be well good, wouldn't it? Noah's watching. Loves it, doesn't he? He loves that cave.
Gut. Ich glaube, das alles hier hat etwas mit mir zu tun. Weißt du, wer meine Eltern sind?
Aber ich kannte deinen Großvater.
Er ist nicht mein richtiger Großvater. Hat er das hier gewusst?
So, he wasn't technically her blood grandfather. It was somebody that just brought her up. That's interesting. Is he still lay on the floor all night?
Wenn ich euch das sagen würde, ihr glaubt mir eh nicht.
Warum nicht?
Der menschliche Körper ist in der Lage, 3 Tage ohne Flüssigkeitsaufnahme auszukommen.
Das kannst du nicht machen. Warte.
See, the thing is, right, even though... Oh, he's gonna tell him.
Das ist eine Zeitmaschine. Kommt. Wir gehen.
Nein, warte. Dann zeig uns, wie es funktioniert.
Ein Handy. Hier gibt's keinen Empfang. Spielt keine Rolle. Es muss ein Signal suchen. Das ist alles. Ihr müsst näher kommen.
Der Störverletzte.
Oh, this is 86.
Nach dem Zwischenfall habe ich eine Probe entnehmen lassen und sie analysiert. Und was du da siehst, ist das Ergebnis.
Diese Werte, das ist völlig unmöglich.
Das habe ich am Anfang auch gedacht. Also habe ich die Tests wiederholen lassen. Es waren die gleichen Ergebnisse. Ich habe dir bereits gesagt, dass man manche schlafende Hunde nicht wecken sollte. Das AKW ist mein Vermächtnis. Mach mit den Daten, was du willst. Lass meinen Namen und das Werk raus. Zumindest solange ich noch lebe.
Oh, he's found him. Do you reckon he's gonna say I'm your dad, or do you reckon he's just gonna look at him and then leave?
Hallo Ines. Nina, hallo. Bei uns ist das Jod wieder alle. Hast du schon gehört? Hm? Aus der Klapse ist einer abgehauen. Soll 2 Kinder in den 50ern umgebracht und eins halt totgeschlagen haben.
Sie kommen mir irgendwie bekannt vor.
Ich habe über 33 Jahre auf diesen Moment gewartet.
Oh, he's telling him the story about saying who he
Ich
is.
weiß nicht wie, sondern wann.
Papa.
Eine Religion?
Wir sind das genaue Gegenteil davon. Wir haben der Zeit den Krieg erklärt. Wir erschaffen eine neue Welt. Ein denkendes, handelndes Geschöpf. Eine physikalische Gesetzmäßigkeit, mit der sich ebenso wenig verhandeln lässt, wie mit dem eigenen Schicksal. Unausweichlich vor uns. Unser Schicksal, nichts als eine Verkettung von Ursache und Wirkung. Im Licht und im Schatten.
That is true, we are all born. Do you know what, right? I've always thought this. I mean, it's not like every day I sit here thinking about it, but like, you know, I thought. Like, first of all, who created 24 hours on the clock and decided that was the time that we all abide by? You know what I mean? Like, who decided? Was it because, literally, somebody would have just looked up and basically was like, look, the sun is there, bang in the middle, that's noon. The next time it comes up, it's been 24 hours on a clock. It's bang centre again in the moon. We'll call that a day. It was there, it was sunny, it went dark. When it come back to being sunny, then we'll call that one cycle, one day. Maybe it's just as simplistic as that, you know what I'm saying? But like, I always think that like time is factually the only thing in life that you don't have enough of. Like, you don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day to do whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, you finish work, you've got a set amount of time before you're working again. You know what I mean? Or school or whatever it is. But also, I've always wondered, and this is different to time, but who decided that a week was 7 days? Like, literally, who said, yeah, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a week. I don't understand it. Like, who picked that? And, you know, why is it not other days? And also, who again, do you know what I mean? Like, who again decided that how many days are in a month? Like, literally, who decided that there's 12 months, you know, January to December, there's this many days, 365 days, that makes one cycle, that's one. Like, who decided all these things? Literally, it's interesting to know, but there's got to be a deeper, like, sometimes you think, mate, it's not that deep. But, like, there's got to be a deeper meaning to why everything's got its time, its numbers, you know what I mean? Its days, like, where's it come from and what's the true meaning of it? The thing is, having that and building it is two different things. It's absolutely solid. Oh no, is it?
Ich bin Noah.
Ich weiß, wer Sie sind.
Ich kann nicht mehr ändern, was du über mich denkst. Aber...
But I'm your dad.
Vielleicht wirst du eines Tages verstehen, dass ich das alles nur getan habe, damit es irgendwann nicht mehr geschieht. Du geboren wurdest, haben sie dir keine großen Chancen gegeben. Du bist zu früh gekommen, warst winzig. Aber du wolltest leben, du warst so stark. Deine kleine Hand hat meinen Finger gegriffen und nicht mehr losgelassen.
Aufhören.
Deine Mutter hat das Foto gemacht. Ich habe ihr versprochen, dich zurückzubringen. Adam wusste, dass du es bist. Sie hat dich sehr geliebt. Das tut sie noch immer.
He wants to end Adam though. He's found the last pages. He wants to end the cycle. He thinks it's Jonas, Adam, whatever he's got to destroy.
Der Sessel ist weg.
Was soll das hier? Ich habe das am Anfang auch nicht geglaubt. Aber dann hat er mir Sachen erzählt, die passieren werden. Und die sind alle genauso gekommen.
Okay, was ist hier los?
Noah hat gesagt, dass es um einen Krieg geht.
Egon? Ines hier. Ich weiß, das klingt jetzt vielleicht seltsam, aber ich komme gerade nach Hause und Michael ist nicht da und dieser Mann aus der Psychiatrie, der ausgebrochen ist.
Welcher Mann aus der Psychiatrie?
Das war wohl heute überall im Radio.
They're going back to the caves. He's gonna try and get him back to the timeline. Look.
Nein! Und auf den Boden! Das ist alles seine Schuld. Das war schon immer. Ich schwöre, beim nächsten Mal bring ich dich um.
Michael, unser Vater, ist nur ein kleiner Teil eines Knotens, der unendlich viel größer und verworrener ist.
Wenn sich alles auf ewig in diesem Knoten befindet, wenn sich nichts verändern lässt, dann hast du dieses Gespräch bereits geführt?
Und genau diese Frage gestellt. Ich könnte nie die Worte sprechen, die mein älteres Ich damals zu mir gesagt hat, weil ich nicht verstehen konnte. Jede Entwicklung baut auf der vorherigen auf. Erst kommt das Rad, dann das Automobil. Ich zu sein, ohne vorher du gewesen zu sein, ist unmöglich. Du hast die Passage gesehen, den Bunker, den Stuhl, den Apparat, das Ding in der Zukunft. Aber das ist noch nicht das Ende der Kette.
Ich möchte, dass Sie das hier für mich untersuchen. Und kein Wort. Zu niemandem. Wenn es das ist, was ich denke, dann wird es unser Verständnis von der Welt grundlegend verändern.
There is kids.
Das sind meine Kinder. Magnus! Martha!
Do you know what? I feel well tight and Ulrich, to be fair. Like, he's had literally his whole life's been ruined and destroyed. Hannah was the start of it, do you know what I mean? And then look at her again, just me and him.
Hat dir das hier jemals was bedeutet? Ich weiß, dass du eine Affäre mit Ulrich hattest. In all diesem Mist habe ich gedacht, du bist die einzige Person, der ich vertrauen kann.
Ist kaputt gemacht. Ich weiß.
Vielleicht hast du das schon immer.
She's always done it, every time.
Es ist nicht dasselbe wie das in der Zukunft. Es ist sozusagen sein Zwilling. Das hier haben wir selbst hergestellt.
Yeah, they made it
Es ist die
themselves.
Weiterführung einer technischen Evolution. Und es wird das Ende dieses Knotens sein. Die Frage ist nur, wann ist der Anfang? Und welches Opfer müssen wir bringen? Wenn du ihn davon abhalten kannst, sich das Leben zu nehmen, dann wird alles, was folgt, nicht passieren. Du,
Won't chase after him.
wir werden nicht geboren. Aber alle anderen werden leben.
It sounds like he wants to save the world, to be fair, but like how he's kind of pictured him as being a bad guy, I don't know. See, the thing is, I'm following what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, but what I physically, like, sometimes I can't really comprehend is, like, the context of the certain situations. So, For example, he's basically saying, look, if he goes back and stops his dad from killing himself, then obviously the whole ripple effects of everything that was happened, you know, him going to the caves and Mikkel going missing and obviously getting stuck in 86 and then him growing up to be Jonas's dad again, you know, all of that wouldn't actually happen, you know. I am not confused with that, you know, so like when I am trying to explain my take or like thoughts and feelings on like the situation, I need like you to like understand that I get what they're saying with that. You know, if he goes back and prevents that, then the actions of them going missing and the kids dying and everything that, you know, that's been happening and him traveling back in time and Jonas finding it, that doesn't have to happen, because obviously all of this was the aftermath of his dad's first death, and if his dad didn't first die, then all of that wouldn't have occurred. So I'm not confused with that. What I am confused at is little parts of little things here and there. So for example, like he was just saying, if he went back in time and stopped his dad from killing himself, then, you know, if you're following, and obviously how he was saying, that would prevent Mikkel from ever going back to 86, which would prevent him from growing up and meeting Hannah, which would stop Jonas from being born. That again, like I said, I'm following. But it doesn't also make sense, because in the timeline where Jonas is supposed to be stopping his dad from killing himself, Jonas is in that timeline, and that's where I can't kind of figure out where it is. I could totally understand what he's saying, and I understand that he's basically saying if you go back and prevent this, this, and this, then the aftermath of that and that wouldn't happen. Because basically, this whole show has been trying to say, and it tells you that, you know, you can't live the present or the past without the future occurring. Now, you can't live the future without the actions of the past and the present. And it's like, I'm understanding it, but then I also kind of don't understand it in certain situations when they're saying that, you know, if he went and stopped and prevented his dad from killing himself, you know, obviously, like, Jonas would never have been born. But the fact is, it wouldn't make any sense, because in the timeline where his dad was killing himself, Jonas was technically alive and well. So, like, he can't erase himself from that existence, because everybody will know who he technically is, unless he's, you know, unless it was like what Ulrich was trying to do when he was trying to kill Helga, and he was trying to make it so that if he died, then everybody would forget that he was a thing, and, you know, it would just like a big instant memory loss. So, like, if he can go back and prevent his dad from killing himself, maybe everybody just totally forgets who Jonas is, and then that would be kind of okay, but it wouldn't, though, would it? So, I mean, it's interesting, and I'm following it, and I understand what he's been tasked, and I know what he's got to do, and I know the reason why, but I also have, like, little reservations, like, well, that doesn't make sense, does it? Because, like, if he was never born, then how would he be in that timeline? And, you know, like, what would happen to the Jonas that was there? Because he was technically alive when his dad was just about to kill himself. And he did leave him a letter, didn't there? And he knows he's existed. And his pictures, and it'd be all over the place. And what happens to all of them? Now, I don't know if it's me looking that's too deep, you know what I'm saying? But that's just a question that lingers in my head straight away. But, mate, again, another good episode. I'm really enjoying this season. 3 more to go. 2 days until the apocalypse. So I don't know if we're going to hit that in 7 and then the aftermath in 8. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Interesting information revealed, obviously, just then, like I was saying, that obviously Jonas has been tasked by Jonas, or Adam. Don't know why he's changed his name. Maybe it's because he wants to be the creator. It's just like a... I don't know, he said that he don't want to believe in God, he wants to create a new world, and maybe it's just like taking a bit of thing from the old one, Adam and Eve, do you know what I mean? The founding, the first man, if to speak, and that's why he's obviously calling himself that. But he's got to go back and prevent his dad from dying, and that would stop, obviously, the apocalypse that was happening and all the events that occurred after it. Now, it's interesting in today's episode that Ulrich met and found Mikkel, and Mikkel knew, and he hugged him, and he was Papa, and he was enjoying it, and he was willing to look like he was going back into the future, to be honest, returning to his mother. But then, obviously, they've been caught because, well, first of all, I don't even know why why is she drugging him? Like, what's happened in that frame where she started to give it to him? What was Mikkel doing that she started to, obviously, give him those and stealing it from work? Now, Egon did see the drugs when he was in the house, but I don't really understand why that's occurring. Like, he's not even a bad kid. Like, why is that happening? And obviously, they're still together in the future. So at the moment where he killed himself, she's still in his life. She was in a picture with actually Jonas and the family. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's been ripped out. I'm assuming it's from Hannah. I'm not really too sure. But do you know what I mean? Like, again, I don't really get what's happening there. But I don't know why he didn't actually stick up for his dad as well. Like, it's actually physically his dad. Like, if it was my dad and I knew that he'd come back and he'd try to find me, mate, I'd be saying, that is my dad. You know, I know it sounds crazy, but we do some checks, we'll figure something out, we can prove it. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't really know, just willy-nilly, just let him get taken away, didn't speak a word, and just went back to the house. It was a bit weird, to be honest. And also, I feel tight on Ulrich as well. You know, he's in the car, seeing his 2 other kids as well. He's like, Martha, you know, I don't know what the other guy, he looks like he's always going to cry, he's called. Shouting him over there. You know, they time travel back as well. They got Bartos to show them the time machine. He was letting him die in the cage, you know what I mean? In the cave, sorry. And then, obviously, interesting stuff's going on with the power plant. You know, Claudia, she's finding out information. I don't know if she's found out something to do with, obviously, this this energy. Do you know what I mean? Maybe this thing that's pulsing around, you know, she asked, basically she was reading and she was saying, and if this means this and that, it's going to change the world forever. But then obviously Helga's dad was like, look mate, you know, leave it out mate, we'll do whatever you want with the information and the data, but don't have my name dropped into it, or wait until I'm actually dead before you actually reveal it. So I mean, I'm excited for that. I'm not really too sure I'm picking on what that is, so you know, if it's obvious, I'm sorry, I've missed it, but because I've missed it, I'm excited to find out. And I've not yet pieced in yet the starting of the seasons, of the episodes, should I say, with obviously Jonas having sex with Marta. Like, it's 3 episodes now out of the 5 that we've watched that this actually happens. And I'm trying to figure out the reference that it's having in the show. Obviously, the first time, it was, I think, him, which was fine. He could have been dreaming or whatever. But the second time, it was her, and she was saying that, or it might be both of them said that, is it an insinuation? Is it something deeper, a meaning to show that they are still alive? Do you know what I mean? And then in this one, it was the older Jonas, it wasn't the younger one. So again, it's interesting with that one. Keep an eye on it, I can't wait for it. But there's 3 more episodes left of the season. It's going to be good. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.